Why is swim teaching the worst thing that I can do for my business to actually grow?
So swim teaching is absolutely brilliant for customers to love you, and it's terrible for more customers to be able to love you
Okay.
because you can only service a certain amount of people, and it takes a lot of performative energy to be able to do it. It takes a lot of time to be in the water, be organized, and all that sort of stuff. And unfortunately, no one else is more motivated as a business owner or a COO than you and myself. And that means that we should be doing the things that are really hard within the business, that are really boring, that take a lot of time, that have really high leverage. Swim teaching is very transactional. Someone comes in, they give you a little bit of money, nominal, and then they leave. Versus training a swim teacher to teach well. Once you've trained them over 3 or 6 months, they might have another 2, 3, 4 years of their life in them as a swim teacher, and they will continue to make money for you thereafter. So teaching is terrible because you're just trading out your time for money. Teaching or training a teacher is brilliant. Having a system that's built out to train a teacher or teaching someone how to train teachers is even more and more high leveraged. Those are the things that you should do if you don't have enough capacity, if you're constantly having wait lists. If you don't have wait lists, then teaching would be the most useless thing ever to do because you actually are not even being fully maximized yourself. You'd be better off figuring out how to get more clients, which is why I'm such a big believer in marketing and why you go and do all the hiring, because on one side, I get us more clients. On the other side, you get us more stuff. And then you and I just keep, and that's how we just keep on growing and growing.
And so if someone has a swim school where maybe they've only got 1 or 2 staff members, or maybe they're the sole person themselves, and they are thinking that they want to grow their business, how do they know that they should?
How do they know that they should grow their business?
Yeah, how do they know that they shouldn't just be a swim teacher for the rest of their lives? How do they know that they should actually try and take some steps to get themselves out of the water?
Okay, so you should only try and get yourself out of the water if that's actually what you want to do. Otherwise, you should just charge more and more as you become more in demand, and you use price as a function to curve your demand. That's it.
So if you love swim teaching and you want to just do 38 hours a week or more of swim teaching, just continuously raise your prices and make sure that you're full the whole time.
Yeah, and do a brilliant job.
Yeah.
Like, make sure that you are delivering huge value on what you're charging, but make sure that the value always exceeds the price, and make sure that the price is trying to get up so that you're earning good money. If that's all you want to do. If you want to own a swim school and run a swim school, then you have to get out of the water, which means that you've got to get someone else in the water and train them with you to start off with. And you've got to make sure that people actually want to be with them. There's going to be some heartstrings that get pulled as well. No one will ever be as good as you. And you've got to be able to be comfortable with you've got to be comfortable with someone being 80 to 90% of what you are, and that still being really good, which means you have to level up to such a high standard and then be able to train people up to that high standard.
Yeah. So the first step, if someone was like, hey, I want to grow my business, I actually want to turn this into something.
Yeah.
All I've been is a swim teacher, and I want to now go out on my own, or I've got my own sort of swim school that I do from a pool at someone's house or at my house. The first step that they should take is getting their first trainee.
Yeah, you get a first trainee, and the best way to get your first trainee is you increase your class size by 1, and they help you do that as well. The extra income should not only cover that person's wages, but make you a tiny bit more extra as well. And that's your very first step. But the step 0 is you've actually got to go, I want to be a business owner. I want to take on risk. I'm okay with feeling a bit uncomfortable. I'm okay with someone else doing things that I'm actually going to end up being liable for. And I'm cool with doing the admin and not being in the pool and doing this boring stuff and having to go and learn and do all these uncomfortable things that I've got no idea
and
about.
I'm ready to make mistakes, and I'm ready to learn, and I'm ready to waste money and feel like I've wasted time as well.
Yeah. You can't be an ostrich. You can't be someone who puts their head in the sand when something doesn't go well. If something doesn't go well, and like I've made some huge blunders over the last few years.
We both have.
Thousands of dollars of cost at various points in time. And as a consequence of that, we've got the scars to prove it, but you've got to be someone who can dust themselves off, and then they can just go again later that day or the next day and not let it affect the business. But if you're someone that's really emotional and you're right up and down, and I struggled with this a bit at the start of business, and I've been really good, I would say, over the last 12 months or so, and that's probably why the business has grown a fair bit more and doing much better. And you've got to be able to keep your shit together. Like you can't be someone who doesn't have mental fortitude. And it's very, very tough being in business, and it's very lonely as well. People don't understand it. And sometimes you can put in all this effort and you end up being the least paid person out of everyone. But you sometimes also, if you get everything right, you end up being way better paid than everyone else.
Yeah.